intuition returned for us already with the Salmon card. And it's telling us that we all have an innate sense of where we're meant to be and what we're meant to do and where we're meant to go, right? A lot of people ignore their intuition, and it usually leads to worry and panic and fear because people are more focused on the aspect of something that could be versus something that they know is just real and just what's happening. The last time this card came out, it was talking about specifically relationships, especially romantic relationships. And whenever you just know something isn't working out. And it's not like necessarily that you're worried about it or that you have fear about it. It's like you just know. And for a lot of people, you do get to a point where you just know that it's just not going to work out for you long term. In this particular reading that I have here today, this is a more broad sense in the fact that whenever we're thinking about, I guess, striking back in this landscape of people who have a lack of drive and a lack of vision. I think a lot of people are calling for leaders at this moment, leaders who want, democracy and freedom, and how to find these people. I have Ace of Swords here, which tells me clear thinking, new thought processes, ideas, learning a new language. But for me, what I'm really getting from this card is the fact that a lot of people are becoming more involved in something they haven't before. I think for a lot of us, it is politics, but for other people, it might be your community, or maybe you're deciding to start your own garden or something like that. Like you're diving into something that you're having to learn about, and you're at the point where you're now taking action. And you might also be at a point too of learning how to do this. So you're seeking knowledge and you're seeking talking to people, and you want to learn the language of this new thing that you want to interact with. And it's your way of fighting back and looking towards a new future. And you intuitively feel this sense that this is something that you should do. And whenever you follow your intuition, you usually get really good results from the universe. You get really good, like, celebratory moments from the universe that feel good. We have 10 of Moons here. This is like the completion or the end of something, but having to do with relationships and emotions. And I think for a lot of people that this actually is you forming your community. I'm getting that really strongly with that 10 of Moons, is because another aspect of that card is your family and the bond you have with your family, whether it's blood related or your chosen family. And so I think for a lot of you guys, this sense of wanting to do something different is sort of leading you into a community of people that are your chosen people. I think for some people too, you've already had it, like it was your family or friend group or whoever it was that you already felt that connection with. And this is just a reminder that, like, those bonds are really strong and those bonds are really important for what you're about to pursue into the next level. I have 2 of Wands here. For me in particular, 2 of Wands means always looking forward and always looking elsewhere. Like you would think, like whenever you're sitting in a classroom and you're forced to be there, like primary school or something, and you're looking out the window thinking about other things that you would rather do with your time. That's what I get from 2 of Wands. And so what I'm feeling here as well is kind of like giving into that childhood, like, sense of hope for the future. A lot of us get like torn down by adulthood. One thing I like about listening to young people is how hopeful they do sound and how much they really truly believe that these things they want to accomplish will happen. And it feels really nice and hopeful to hear them speak about it. But many of us know that life kicks you down and it kicks you repeatedly. And unless you're somebody who is born into generational wealth, you're not going to achieve a lot of the goals that you set out to do. A lot of us probably had an idea of what we thought life would look like at 25, and then 25 comes and goes and you never did those things. You never even was able to take a step in that direction because life kept happening and happening and happening, and it kicked you and kicked you and kicked you. So I think that this opportunity that you are wanting to learn more about and more of dive into, I think it is something ingrained and something hopeful that maybe as a child you already had this sense of wanting to do something like this. And so it's kind of building upon like that idea that you already had in childhood, because that was your intuitive sense of what you wanted to do and what you wanted to be. And then now you're at this place where you're able to start actually looking at it and start actually working towards it. And the help of your family will help you get there. I have Temperance, reversed here. And I think this card is a warning not to fall into this area of being unwilling to work on yourself. Have unbalanced, unwilling to commit to inner work, and a lack of direction. So I think this card is a warning not to fall into those traps and to listen to your intuition. If you're feeling a lack of direction, listen to your intuition and try to figure out what exactly it is it's pointing you towards. What are things that you've done that you have gotten a positive reward from them? And what are things where you feel like you keep continuously hitting roadblocks? And it'll be important to kind of like digest that and analyze that moving forward into this thing that you really want to do. It's something you've had your eye on for a long time, and it's something you think will fulfill you and make your inner child happy. I have 7 of Wands here. This tells me that you've worked really hard to get to where you are, and no one's going to take that away from you. You're ready to fight. You're like, hell no. You know what I mean? And I think for a lot of you guys, that's your community. You're ready to fight for your community. You're like, I'm not going to see the people around me go down, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect them. And that's where a lot of this sort of intuitive sense of pushing in to do something different is coming from. It's more of like a sense of like protection of your community, protection of the people you love and care about. You're like, I'm not going to let it be taken away from me. I've worked too long and too hard to get to where I am, and I'm not going to let it go. And so I think that at this point, sorry, let me try to untangle my thoughts. I'm like having a bunch of thoughts all at the same time. So to sort of wrap this up, because that was the last card that we have here. So for a lot of you guys, this intuitive sense is going to be what is leading you, and definitely listen to it. Intuition is not worrying and having anxiety. Those are not intuitive thoughts. Something that your intuition is telling you is something that you just know for a fact. You just know it. You feel it, and you know that it will happen. That's intuitive. And it's also not really something that like you're setting out to cause harm to make happen. Because I think a lot of people, there are a lot of people who don't process their own thoughts, and they have intrusive and impulsive thoughts, and they believe that they are messages from God. And that would not be intuition, right? That would just be impulsive and intrusive thoughts that people just don't know anything about mental health. So they don't know that that's why they're thinking those things. Whenever like intuition is something that does not have to be forced. It is just the way that things are. I hope that that's helpful for anybody who's trying to understand intuition a little bit more. There are definitely books on intuition if you want to look them up and get a little bit more into that sense of understanding yourself and trusting your inner self. I think it could be really helpful at this time. So yeah, that's my reading for today. We had intuition pop back up, and I think that it was really important for our community and for whatever it is that you're setting out to do right now, and you're at the beginning stages of it. Continue to learn. I'm really getting you need to learn, and you need to learn the language. You need to learn how to communicate in this field in order to start making the roadblocks, or start making the foundation, not roadblocks, the foundation to get what you need done. All right, thanks for watching. If you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I might start doing personal readings soon, so keep an eye out for the prices on that. But otherwise, you can buy me a cup of coffee if you want to keep supporting my channel. Thanks.